Okay, first I just want to say I know I always wear this beanie, and I know I put the camera way too close to my face. The beanie's just on a lot because it's comfortable and I love it, and I've had it for like 15 years, and I got it at Target, so it's like not some special thing that I got in some amazing place, although Target is pretty amazing in some ways. And what was the other thing I was talking about? Oh yeah, I hold the camera like this because it's comfortable. I have my elbows on the table. It's just right in front of me. It's great. It's comfort. I choose comfort. Okay. There's the bottom line of both these things that I just shared. Anyway, I got on here to talk about transparency, which is kind of what I'm doing, and I didn't even realize that's why I was doing it, but now I know that's why I just said everything that I just said. I was specifically noticing, I did a video a couple months ago where I decided I was just going to say everything that was going on in my mind. And as soon as I said that, my mind just stopped. And I had nothing to say, and I just started laughing. And what it made me realize is that so much of our mind activity has to do with what we need to hide. What is it that I need to hide right now? And if there's nothing to hide, if we're being transparent, if we're living that way, then the mind gets quiet. And when the mind is quiet, we're just in presence. We're available for the moment in a whole new way. We're available for intimacy with ourselves and others. So transparency might not be for everyone, it might not be for you, but this is one reason that I love it. Because the more I just name everything and put it out there, the quieter my mind gets. I get surprised too. Like I put stuff out there that I'm like how's this going to be received? And it so consistently gets received so lovingly and beautifully. And so much of what I share is stuff I've never heard anybody share about. And then all these people relate, and then I get to see like I'm not weird. It's not just me. Like it normalizes everything. Transparency normalizes everything. And it takes, there's a lot of fear there because it's a risk. Like this isn't, well, the mind thinks it's a risk. This isn't going to land well for people. So, but that's the story. What if this doesn't land well? What if people, just like reject me and judge me and think I'm weird? But it's hardly ever true. And if it is true, okay. If people are gonna like reject me because of some stupid shit I do in my head or like some things that I don't know, like it's like cool. I guess those people will fade out of my life. It's more worth it to me to just be fully transparent, be myself, quiet my mind, and live in presence than it is to try to guard against what people might think. All right? Transparency. Just say the shit. I've been seeing someone for a few weeks and we're playing this game together and it's so fucking fun. We're like all the times that our mind is saying, maybe I shouldn't say that thing. We're taking the risk to say it. Things that like today or last night, I shared a bunch of stuff about like what I thought about her body, which normally I'm like, oh, I don't want to go there. Like, cause I felt an initial uncertainty in me because it wasn't like the typical, person that I am attracted to in certain ways. Even though now I totally feel attraction. It's now I feel self-conscious talking about this because I didn't check in with her if it's okay to share about this. Maybe I'll do that. More transparency. But the point is, like, I brought up this stuff about body image, and it was totally not what she thought. She was tripping about a certain thing, and I was like, no, it wasn't that. It was this other thing. I mean, I'm not even sure what it was. It was just something in me was like, surprised was really all it was. So I shared that, and it busted this like huge story she had about what was going on, about like, yeah. I'm in my head trying, see, this is what's happening. My mind is getting all this activity right now because it's going, wait, do I want to reveal this? Is this okay? It's a little complicated because I'm not revealing for me, I'm revealing for someone else. So it's starting to get active, and it's starting to not be transparent, because I want to just transparently share our interaction around this, what it was that she had some feelings about, what it, just kind of giving some of the story. And my mind's like, nope, this might be something to hide. Oh, so good. It's like this real time. Here it is happening. I was just flowing. I was in presence. And then suddenly I was like, oh, that might be something I need to hide. And I don't even think that's true, because she's already told me, like, you can share anything that we're talking about, any of our conversations, like, full permission. And I gave her full permission. So that's the game we're playing together. All that being said, I'm going to check in with her, because that feels like that feels an integrity for me to do that first. So if you're seeing this video, she was a yes. So yeah, I guess I'll just share and then I'll see if she's a yes. So it was about her weight, and she thought that maybe I saw her as big, and I was like, no, it wasn't your weight. You're actually the tallest woman I've ever dated. And I think that threw me off. Like, I'm used to dating just smaller women, and she's like about my height, maybe just like an inch shorter than me. And I didn't know that. We had met through a mutual friend and had been like messaging with each other, but I didn't know that about her. So when I saw her, it like surprised me, and something in me kind of contracted. And then I decided to name all that with her. Even in the first encounter, like I said some of that. I'm like, something in me felt like a no, and I was like getting ready to. I was trying to figure out how I was going to tell you that I wasn't feeling it. And then as we connected, and I felt your heart, like, and my heart started to open to you. None of that seemed like it mattered so much. It was this really beautiful experience of like, who cares about the superficial stuff? Like, I feel your heart, and you're fucking beautiful. And so it was this, and I just decided to name all that the best that I knew how in the moment. And over time, we've kind of been like breaking it down, the pieces of it. And it's been this really beautiful experience that has brought us closer together rather than taking us apart, and brought us closer to ourselves. Because I keep trying to not have that bright thing in the background, but then I'm not centered. More transparency. Yeah, so this is what I've noticed so much with transparency is my mind thinks it's going to create distance between me and separate me from others, and it does the opposite. It brings me closer to people. Just naming the thing that I'm scared to name, having the courage to just say it. And there's some discernment, like there's probably some things I choose not to say, not very often. But yeah, it's like, what if we just look at all this shit and we just lovingly hold all of it together? I think that's about all I have to say on this for now. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you for joining me in my transparency journey. It's so fucking healing to just reveal the shit. It de-shamifies everything. To just put it out there, let it be seen, own it. It's like, I'm just going to own this thing. And there's something that's so self-loving about that. Of like, even though I'm not so sure how I feel about this part of me, I'm going to put it out there for other people to potentially reflect approval and love. Show me that I'm lovable with this part. And then that's when integration happens. That's when something shifts inside. It's like, wait a minute. This reflection is not what my mind is telling me about it. Which one do I want to believe? Which one am I going to believe? It starts to shift something in me. So, yeah, that's my plug for transparency. But check in with yourself. This journey is all about self-trust. If that doesn't feel alive for you in this moment, if you feel like there are people in your life that won't land so well for, and you're not ready to risk saying goodbye or getting rejected by people, that totally makes sense. I'm in a position in life where I don't have too much to worry about. Like, I have a friend, she wants to be more transparent, but she's got kids. And like, what if my kids' parents see some of my transparency? What if that gets back to my kids and they have judgments of me? What if, there's so many people in her world that like there's consequences. So I just want to put that in there too. Like there is some discernment and wisdom perhaps in what our life situation is. And for me, like, I just really don't have to worry about it. And I surround myself with people that I can be that way, and they're going to be there for me. And that's kind of how, I guess I have more to say. That's kind of how this journey of transparency started for me. Is I shared something super vulnerable about a sexual fantasy, or I wrote about. I had the experience, and then I wrote about it, and then I decided to share it with some people in person. I shared it with 7 people, and those 7 people all reflected love, all like de-shamified it. They shared some things. Some of them shared some things they'd never shared with anyone before. Like my shame invited their shame and created this tornado of acceptance and love and approval that just busted all that shit apart. And that gave me the courage to share it in an online community with several hundred people, a lot of whom I didn't know. The results were mixed, and some people did have some pretty strong judgments of me, and some people that I cared about did sort of go away. And other people got brought closer to me, and I got all this appreciation and respect and opportunities to love myself through these mirrors, and to bring people into my life that I'm trying not to be like comparative or judgmental, but that are more fully accepting of the whole of themselves. And then I get to, through being in their presence, through the modeling that they do, I learned to do that with myself even more. And it's like this beautiful reciprocal thing that we do back and forth. Whew. I feel like I was just kind of talking a mile a minute. Usually I'm more like chill and slow, but I got all excited. I was just messaging with this woman, and I suddenly was like, oh my God, this is brilliant. I think I want to make a message about this. I'm doing it. Goodbye. And I just got on here and did it. So I'm going to go check in with her, see if she's cool with it, or maybe I'll wait to show her this video in person and see if that works for her. And then, obviously, if you're seeing this, it did. Again. Okay. Now I think that's all for now. Yeah. All right. Thank you. That was fun. I hope you had fun too.